Say to me, Ali, do you believe ISIS is a terrorist state?
Do you believe Hamas and Hezbollah are terrorist organizations?
That's
the question! That's the question!
Say yes or no.
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 Yes or no. Yes or no. Yes or no.
Can't answer a simple question. He doesn't care. He lives here in London. He's enjoying his life in a democracy and freedom of the world. But if he goes to Gaza, he can't even say one sentence.
You don't even care if Palestinian children are dying at the hands of Hamas. You don't care that Israeli, Arab, Muslim children are dying because of Islamic terrorist organizations in Gaza. All you care about is coming here and condemning Israel.
When people shout from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. When they shout, we don't need two states, we want all of it, they sell illusion. Israel is not going anywhere.
And you're an Arab.
Grapes. They're paying you grapes. They're paying you grapes. They're paying you grapes. Tell him they're paying you grapes.
He claims to be Arab, but he's not Arab. I just exposed him on our review. He claims to be Arab. He's not Arab.
So the Arab that speaks
You
Arab
are
isn't an Arab.
Ashkenazi.
but-
He is Sephardim. He's Sephardim. He's Sephardim.
What a coincidence. He comes on the same day. What a coincidence.
No, he came into.
What a coincidence.
Are you saying I'm the Muslim now?
No. What a coincidence that he never comes. He comes on this day with him.
It's such...
And let me guess, you never met each other.
Everyone knows.
You never met each other.
No, we've met each other.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. What do you mean? First of all,
Actually, today is the first time
first of
I've
all,
met.
I have more than. First of all,
he can't deal with the conversation. He has to turn the conversation on
Someone
to
record
me.
it from my channel. Can someone hold my phone? This is very funny.
awesome.
I find this very funny.
This is going to be
He's good.
huge.
He will edit this video.
Great. Then make sure to record it so we can show the truth.
Who are you?
My name is Yoseph Haddad.
Okay, and what are you here to do today?
This is the sign. I'm here. I'm here to speak about the fact. I'm here to speak about the fact. I'm here to speak about the fact as an Arab who lives in Israel.
Let him speak.
I had to interrupt him.
Let him speak. So you did me. Let him speak.
Speak his corner.
A person who has never been in Israel tells me that I'm not an Arab.
Listen his corner.
اسمعني عربي ونص وفلوس وجهك عربي.
Carry on.
Oh, he started insulting me now.
Out of range. Okay, carry on.
Basically, it's very simple. Coming to speak about the truth and the reality, share the facts and say that indeed we need to solve the problems, whether it's in Israel or in Palestine. Because people like you who comes with automatically like, oh, how much the Mossad is paying you? Oh, how much this happening? Oh, how much that? You know what? You're only contributing to that conflict instead of trying actually to resolve it. Now, here's the thing. Understand this. If the Mossad would have paid me, I would have lived in such an amazing apartment. If you want to see my apartment, you probably don't want to live there. That's one. Second,
Mossad would be stupid.
listen to me.
Send someone like you lives in a
Listen,
luxury
I think what's stupid is the fact that you think that Mossad is paying me just because I speak in favor of Israel.
Do you know this man?
This is it.
Do you know this man?
Of course I know this man. This is actually the first time. This is actually the first time we met. It's actually the first time we met.
That Ashkenazi, he's Sephardic.
This is the first time.
But the problem is,
First time we met.
he's proud to be Ashkenazi, he's not proud to be Sephardic. He claims to be Arab.
First time he met, when I asked him before the camera, he said we met before.
No, I said you asked if we know each other. We know each other online.
You did say it. You said you met him.
So this is the first time you met, but you've been speaking before. Okay, no problem. Let's carry on.
That's your defense.
Carry on. And for some reason, it's a coincidence. He never comes to the park. The baby's killer supporter.
I just told you I've
He
come
comes
here
to the
because
park
they're here today.
and he's here. Okay,
Here's the
carry
thing.
on.
Here's the thing. Have you heard about social media?
Yes.
Because I have
I'm a YouTuber.
Great. So the way you have YouTube, I have Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and I actually announced that I'm coming to the UK to speak also to people like you.
Okay, like me. Yes.
So do you follow me?
I follow you.
Oh, okay. So that's how we know also each other. Oh, okay, great. So that's why you also came, because you know that I'm coming here. Oh, that's awesome.
Yes,
great.
yes.
So that's possible. But hey, listen.
impossible.
Hey, but listen. I mean, I know you. It's a big problem. So here's the thing. I don't hide the fact that I come here in order to speak about Israel. I don't hide that.
Do you believe Israel is a child
I am.
killers.
Sorry?
Do you believe they're a terrorist state that kills children?
Israel is a terrorist state.
Do you believe they're a terrorist state that kills
I do believe that there is terrorism towards Arabs,
You don't believe it's a fact.
but it's from Hamas.
Something going on, you know. You cannot say
It's from
a belief.
Hamas, and you have no clue and idea what is Hamas is doing. No, don't do seconds. Talk to me. We're filming. Don't worry. No. Sorry. I mean, you know us. You know us Arabs. We talk with our hands, but like we don't mean harm. We don't mean harm.
Okay, 1 second.
So yes, I do agree with
I repeat
you.
my statement
I
again.
do agree with
I
you.
repeat my statement
There is
again.
terrorism towards
I
Arabs,
repeat my
and it's
statement
coming
again.
from Hezbollah
Okay.
and from Hamas.
Okay, thank you.
But you don't know that
Thank you, Mr.
because the
Mossad.
first. Thank you, Mr. Mossad.
Mossad, thank you. Okay,
Thank you,
can I ask you a
Mr.
question?
Thank you, Mr. Have no clue what's going on in Israel.
that's
How many times have you? How many times have you been there?
clue, yeah?
How many times have you been in Israel?
the people
How
there,
many
you
have you
killing
done?
the children.
So here's the
What are
thing:
you talking
a
about?
person who has never been in Israel, never fought, never been in Israel, never been in Gaza, never been in the West Bank, comes and tells me, "Oh, thank you, Mossad. Thank you for not being there." Okay. Plus, add on that the fact that he has doesn't even speak Arabic, and he comes to me and telling me speaking Arabic. Okay, so keep asking questions. I answered your question.
question again.
Indeed,
Do you live in Israel?
Indeed, yes I do. I live in Nazareth.
You live in?
Nazareth,
In
Nazareth.
Nazareth. Okay. I have never been to Israel. You
Okay,
said,
yeah,
Okay.
well,
And
I asked you.
No, I haven't. And they will never let me in. Okay. You've been there. You should know it on the ground.
I live there, not been there. I live there.
You live there.
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe and
Yes.
do you accept that Israel is a terrorist state that kills innocent children?
I do accept that Hamas and Hezbollah
Did I
are
ask about Hamas?
They are,
a terrorist
okay,
organization.
they are.
By the way, by the way, how much you want to bet? How much do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet? He's gonna edit that, and because I said I do, you're gonna leave the I do without the continue. If you're a man, you keep my full answer. Keep my full answer. Don't cut it. Don't cut it when I say that you asked the question and I said I do believe that Hamas and Hezbollah. If you cut it, then you're not even close to be a man.
I'll give you my word.
So give me my word and give me the full.
I'll give you my
Don't
word.
edit
I'm not gonna cut
it.
it.
Don't edit it.
The reason I'm not going to cut it is because your answer shows me that you are nothing but Mr. Mossad.
Mr. Mossad.
Yeah.
Tell
Let me
me.
tell you why.
Let me tell you.
I listen to you. Listen to
All
me.
right, let's
Okay.
start.
I asked you a question. I said, do you believe as a person?
I said 100% no.
Let me finish my statement. Let me finish my
Me
statement.
saying that Hamas and Hezbollah are the
Allow me to
terrorists
talk. Allow me
means
to
that
talk.
Israel is
Allow me
not.
to talk. If I asked you a simple question, I said to you, do you believe Israel is a terrorist state that kills children? You replied
And
with-
I said that
Yeah?
Hamas and Hezbollah, which means no.
Okay.
What part you don't understand?
Ask me a question. Say to me, Ali, do you believe ISIS is a terrorist state? Ask me.
Do you believe Hamas and Hezbollah are terrorist organization? That's the question! That's the question! But more than that, do you know that Hamas and Hezbollah not terrorizing Jews only, they're terrorizing Arabs? But let me further than that because you have no clue probably.
when you finish it.
During the war in 2006, during the war in 2006, 44 civilians were killed by Hezbollah rockets. Half of them were Arab Muslims. Now I'm going to ask you a question, yes or no.
haven't answered
Did
my
you
question.
know this information?
You haven't answered my question.
Did you know this
You
information?
haven't answered my question yet.
Did you know that Hezbollah killed Arabs? Yes or no?
Can you answer my question?
Did you know
answer my question?
that Hamas,
you answer
during
my
the
question?
last round
Can you answer my
of
question?
conflict, killed
you
Jews
answer my
and
question?
Arabs, including a
Will
girl
you answer my
and a man,
you answer
Arab,
my question?
from Lod?
Okay.
Did you know that?
1 second. Let me
Did
make
you
it
know that?
categorically clear. Let me
You
make it
don't
clear.
know that.
Let me make it clear now. Let me make it clear.
More than that.
Anyone.
More than
Let me
that.
make it categorically clear.
More than that. You focused on ISIS. ISIS is a terrorist organization, just like Hamas and like Hezbollah.
Okay, 1 second.
Why you're not
1
referring
second.
to
Now,
Hezbollah and Hamas?
Guys, check this out, yeah? Let me give you this claim.
Why you're
I
not
believe
talking about
ISIS,
Hamas
I
and
believe
Hezbollah?
ISIS, Israel, Hamas, whichever they are, anybody that targets civilians on purpose is an act of terrorism. Now, I asked a very question. I don't want to go
So,
over it.
is Hamas a terrorist organization? By proper, no, by
Repeat again,
proper.
repeat
I
again.
want to say
I'll
yes.
repeat again.
I want you to
I'll
say
repeat again.
yes.
Israel, ISIS, Hamas, or any other organization that specifically
Now.
target innocent people.
Now.
1 second.
So we agree.
Is an act of terrorism. Now,
Great. Now, you
if
agree that
Israel,
there are.
if Israel target innocent children and babies,
They don't.
Let me finish.
They don't.
Let me finish. Let me
They
finish.
don't, my friend.
Mr. Mossad.
This is by
Is it
the
terrorism?
mess lit.
Okay, okay.
No, because they don't. More than that, When you see kids are killed in Gaza, have you asked yourself? Have you asked?
Did 66 children get killed?
Have you asked?
About a year ago.
Have you asked?
Did 66 children get killed?
Have you asked yourself
Yes or
why?
no? Mr. Mossad.
Have
did
you
66 kids
Mister,
get
have
killed?
no idea what's going on.
Mr. Mossad.
Do you know why?
Did 66 kids get killed?
Do you know?
Did 66
Have
kids
do you
get
have?
killed?
And let me answer. Let me answer.
Yes or no?
Let me answer.
Yes or no?
Can I answer?
Yes.
Do you have any clue?
No.
Do you have any clue
Do you accept
why
66
69 kids were killed
killed
because
by Israel?
Hamas pushed
By
the rockets
Israel.
in the population civilian area, and you don't know
So
that? Therefore what? Therefore what? When Hamas launches rockets toward Israel, from babies and kids, what do you think would happen?
1 second, can I speak? 1 second, that means
I
when
will never let a liar
1 second.
speak
So
and
that means
mislead with his
your
questions.
logic, when ISIS fires rockets, okay, and America attacks back, that means we need to blame America because they're like, we threw the rockets
My
first.
logic is very simple. If there's a war, it should be a war
Is
between
Israel a terrorist state? Yes or no?
100% not,
that
my
out here.
friend.
Mr. Mossad.
100% not.
Thank you very much.
Not only that.
Mr. Mossad.
Not only that. Not only
And
that.
as you know, the terrorist state supports a baby killer.
I got what I need from him.
Came with this Arab friend,
Come on,
Mr. Mossad,
Mr. Ignorant,
and when we asked
Mr.
him, is
Ignorant,
Israel
that doesn't
a
even
terrorist
know
state?
anything.
He said no.
Of course not.
These are the
Of course
people,
not.
baby killers.
Of course not. The baby killer is Hamas. Hamas, baby killers.
ISIS,
Hamas are baby killers. Hezbollah, baby killers. Mr. Ignorant. Mr. Ignorant. Ignorant.
Mr. Perfect.
Nothing
Mr.
but
Perfect.
ignorant.
Listen. You said
I'm not
Hezbollah.
perfect.
You said
I'm not
Hezbollah.
perfect.
You said
I'm not
Hezbollah.
perfect.
You said
I'm
Hezbollah.
not
Just
perfect.
one question. I want to ask you a question. You said Hezbollah and Hamas terrorist organization. I agree with you. I answered you by Jewish, I understand the whole situation. And they don't even admit Israel, you know, because you're such a terrorist, you're such a criminal. You're such a criminal in this world. You're not doing good, you understand it. The guy who can't even speak Arabic. You understand the Testament. You understand everything, but you're denying it. You're denying it. I have everything.
Se le cayó. It fell off.
Brother, come. Do a quick wrap up on your conversation with Borat. What are you looking to achieve? Hey.
Look at this. Doesn't speak Arabic. Don't know everybody. He's not even there.
Arab Israeli babies are dying. It doesn't matter. You don't care.
For him,
You
listen.
don't care. It doesn't matter to you that Hezbollah kills Arab Israeli babies.
Okay, so do you condemn
All that
Israel
matters
killing?
to you.
Do you
All that
condemn
matters
Israel
to you is
killing?
condemning Israel. You are so upset.
All that matters to him.
So
All that matters to him
upset.
is to show this.
Why are you
You're
touching
so
her?
upset.
Why are you touching her? Do you even
No,
know her?
all
You are
this,
so
all this, to
upset
show this.
with condemning
This is what they
Israel
want to do.
that you don't even care if Palestinian children are dying at the hands of Hamas. You don't care that Israeli Arab Muslim children are dying because of Islamic terrorist organizations in Gaza. All you care about is coming here and condemning Israel.
Okay.
I don't have a problem saying that Israel is imperfect.
Okay. No, oh, excuse me.
Of course not.
Whenever I hear the word imperfect, I used to tend to think about myself. Like if someone comes and says, Ali, are you perfect? I go, I'm not a perfect guy. Now
okay.
for
So
you,
let's talk about-
one
let's
second.
talk about-
No one asks Ali if he's perfect.
Let's talk about.
I'm speaking to the
let's talk
lady.
about the UK.
I'm speaking to the
Let's
lady.
talk about Europe.
Mr. Mossad, can I
Let's
speak
talk
to the
about
lady?
Mr. Ignorant.
Listen,
I
ladies
know you're
first.
talking to the lady
Ladies
because you
first.
can't handle me. It's
Yeah, I
fine.
know, you're too much.
I know that you
You're
can't
too much.
handle me.
You're
It's
too
okay.
much.
I
I couldn't
understand
deal
that.
with you.
It's
I
very
couldn't
hard
deal
on
with
you
you.
You
to
don't want to
handle
listen
someone.
to an
You're
Arab
too much.
Israeli.
You're too much.
I know that I'm
You're
too
too
much.
strong. You're too strong. I can't deal with
you
you.
can't handle me.
So, madam,
I know. Now you're
can you imagine if I
focusing
said
on
to
her.
you,
It's
ISIS
fine.
is not
It's fine.
perfect?
We're going to
That
ISIS
has
back.
nothing to do with
One
what I
second.
said.
If I said
what I said
ISIS,
is that you
she's
are a
not perfect.
hypocrite. You are a hypocrite who doesn't give two
Wait.
about the death of
ho-
Arab Israelis
and how do you
or
know-
Palestinian
how do you know-
children
how do you know that
who
about
die
me?
under the hands of Hamas
Do you know anything
or
about
under
me?
terrorist attacks.
Do you know anything about
I
me,
know
madam?
exactly what I need to know
What
based
you know
on
about me?
everything you've said so far.
What have I said?
All you care about is
Everything that
demonizing and
ISIS
attacking the
wants
state of Israel.
What I said?
Wait.
I have
Another baby killer supporter.
Will you condemn?
Another baby killer supporter.
Will you condemn
If-
Hamas
Madam.
murdering Israeli Arab Muslim children?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Yes or no?
Yes, I'm going to answer Mr. Mossad one
Yes
second.
or no?
Hey, Mr. Ignorant.
Listen
Yes
carefully.
or no?
I
Do you condemn
condemn.
it?
Listen again. I
Do you
condemn.
condemn it?
Can I speak?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yes or no?
I condemn
Wait, I don't know.
any organization.
You asked me.
Yes
You
or
asked me
no?
to say yes or no.
Mr. ISIS,
Say yes or no. You asked me to say yes or no. Now you don't answer any yes or no.
Thank you.
Here's again another form of hypocrisy
I can't even
from a person 2 seconds ago
I
telling me,
can't even
What is so
oh,
hard
say
for
yes
you?
or no.
What is so
Say
hard
yes
for
or
you
no.
to say I
Yes or no.
condemn
Yes or no.
Yes or no.
of
Yes
Israeli
or
Arab
no.
children?
Yes or no. 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 Yes or no.
Wait, let's hear it from Mr. Ignorant.
Okay.
Let's hear it from Mr. Ignorant.
Thank you.
Mr. Ignorant,
Thank you.
please.
Thank
Yes
you.
or no.
One word.
One word.
I condemn anybody.
Yes or no? Are you yes or no?
Thank
One,
you. I
two,
condemn
no.
anybody, ISIS, Israel, America, Hamas,
Yes
that kill innocent
or
children.
no?
Now, do you
Yes
condemn
or no?
Israel?
Yes or no. Yes or no. Yes or no.
Yes or no? Answer.
Do you condemn Israel?
Answer.
Can you not touch me?
Answer.
Can you not touch me?
Answer.
Can you not touch me? Do you condemn the killing of 66 kids by Israel?
I'm here.
1 second.
Very hard to
Why have you
speak
gone
about
silent?
I'm still
Why have you
waiting
gone
for you to answer
silent?
my question.
Madam, why have you gone
Answer
silent?
her
Still
question.
waiting for you
Yes
to
or
answer
no?
my
I said
question.
yes.
You first.
Do you condemn
Hamas.
Israel as a
You
terrorist state
condemn-
killing 66
You
kids?
condemn
What did you
Hamas
say,
for the
Hillary?
murder of Arab Israeli
I
children.
condemn Hamas
You
if they kill
condemn
innocent
Hezbollah.
children.
If
Yes.
they-
No if, no if, no if. Yes or no.
Yes
They
or
kill.
no?
Israel
Yes or no
state.
question.
Do you
It's a
condemn
yes or no
Israel killing
question.
66 kids?
It's a yes or no
Oh
question.
my gosh, look at this.
Look at you.
Look at
You
this.
can't say yes or no without an if.
You are the
Every
pathetic
time I ask you to
this.
answer,
Ali can't condemn
I
Hamas.
condemn
Watch
Israel.
this.
Condemn
That's what
Hamas.
you talk about.
Yes or no? Condemn Hamas.
Do you condemn Israel killing kids?
Condemn
Yes.
Hamas.
Do you condemn Israel kids?
Condemn Hamas. Yes or no? Condemn Hamas. Yes or no?
Ali, the Dawah cameras are leaving. You're doing such a bad job. The Dawah cameras are
Do you
leaving.
condemn Israel killing kids?
Do you or not? Answer yes
Look
or
at
no?
it, look at it. Watch camera,
Yes or no?
bro. Let's get close.
Yes or no?
Look,
Israel's the best.
Do you condemn Israel killing
Israel
kids?
kills fewer civilians than any
One
other
second.
country in
Do
asymmetric
you
warfare.
condemn Israel killing kids?
Hamas killed the kids.
Israel kills fewer kids in
Every single
about
day.
Israel.
my
You
God.
don't care. You don't care about Arabs. You don't care about Arabs. You don't care about Muslims. You don't care about Arabs. Everything you talk about is Israel. Israel. You are obsessed. You are obsessed with Israel.
Do you condemn?
Obsessed.
Yes or no? You didn't even say
Wow.
that.
Ali,
You can't
look
say
at
yes
Dawah
or
cameras
no.
are leaving.
You can't say yes
Baby
or no.
killers.
Yeah,
Guys, ladies and gentlemen.
If we were in
baby
Hamas,
killers.
definitely.
This woman fails to condemn Israel killing
Israel has
66
a
kids.
Israel has the best record in asymmetric warfare. Killing
What?
civilians.
And now he runs. And now he runs. And now he
And
runs.
one
Bye
second.
bye, Mr. ISIS. Bye bye, Mr.
As
ISIS.
you can see, as you can see,
Ali ISIS is going to leave the building.
again, their supporters are here, and once again we have shown you they will never condemn Israel killing kids. Never. You are as good as
They are killers. They are themselves
Because you guys are
killers.
killers. One,
Hamas
two,
is a killer.
I'm talking to
Thank you very
someone
much.
who is proud to be Jewish, not like you. You hide your ID. You say you're not Jewish, but you are Jewish.
And Ali has left the building. Ali ISIS has left the building.
You are just shit of Jewish. You are Sephardic. Low class. Classified
عن
class
ربك.
in what's
زلمة مش هقول لك. قول لي انت مش عربي، انت مش عربي. يا زلمه صدقني عربي. انت مش عربي. يا زلمه انت مش عربي.
I said you are Sephardic. You classified low and class. You are shit of Jewish. Let me talk to someone who's proud to be Jewish.
انت مش عربي.
Let me talk to someone who's proud to be Jewish.
Ali ISIS is speaking to a sheikh.
I don't know, but people are defining me.
A shitty Jewish claim to be Arab.
Define me. Come on,
A
man,
shitty
define
Jewish
me.
claim to be Arab. He's a Jewish.
That's the best thing so far I saw. A person comes to define me. ينعن خلاص بلاش بلاش
Brother, wrap up. The conclusion was, what happened there?
He's calling you a brother. You're not Jewish, you idiot. They call you Goy. They call you Goyim, you idiot. He's calling you brother.
This is very, we've just seen this is exactly why I am here. That's why I decided to come to the speaker's corner, to do exactly this. Now, there's a lot of extremists. There is. But the fact is simple, that if I manage to change one person's mind, one person's view, I did my job. And you know what? I can tell you that I had a lot of good conversation. with people who actually wanted to listen. But those people who came just to shout, someone here defines me, thinks that he knows who I am, and he decides who I am without even trying to speak to me and understand who I am. The only one thing to say to him is,
1, 2, 3, 4.
you really don't want to solve the conflict.
5, 6, 7.
You don't really want to stop seeing people from dying. You just want to make that more and more. I'm here to make sure that the lies and the twisted facts are not silent anymore. We're going to show the truth, show the reality against any liar. Against any liar. I'm here to expose those lies. I'm here to show everyone who don't want to finish that conflict. I don't want to see anyone or to give anyone who has a, how do I call it, twisting facts, lies, mislead. They shouldn't get the stage. They shouldn't get the stage.
What you after, mate?
I will present the reality and the truth. Point.
I can help you. What you after? I can help you.
What?
I'm not Arab who lives in Israel. Ask me why it is not what?
Not an apartheid state.
What does that mean?
Yeah, apartheid state, it means that basically that you have two separate systems for the same segregation country, segregation system for both. Like what happened was in South Africa. Let me tell you. So like take for instance South Africa. South Africa had an apartheid regime, which means that the two different systems for black and for white. So two different systems for health care, two different systems for education, two different systems for anything. Like listen, like for instance, black can go this.
I wanted one thing, you know. There's no black and white. There's no yellow.
Yeah, I agree. But that's an apartheid regime.
So now you're fighting that, yeah?
I'm fighting the fact that they're considering Israel and saying Israel is an apartheid regime. Now I am an Arab who live in Israel. And as an Arab who live in Israel, I don't have two separate systems. It's not like I have a bus just for Arabs and a bus just for the Jews.
You defend Israel, you're not doing your point. You were saying Israel is not a terrorist state.
It's not.
We have to discuss that because at some point Israel is. My step family Jewish, man. They're from here. Their family name is Lancaster. You know, I can't get their backup. You know, they say that they don't admit this because what they're doing there is criminals and crimes and terrorism. What's going on there? We admit terrorism.
I swear to you, if you would have seen this, I swear to you, if you had seen this, you would understand what I'm talking about.
Come on, man. You know you're people, man. You're from Syria, yeah. I grew up with them. I have two families.
إذا أنت من سوريا يا زلمة كيف بتشوف كيف مثلا شوف كيف أسد شو عمل؟ شوف كيف أسد عمل
إسرائيل مالها إرهابيين.
Do you know that Israel treated Syrian kids and people and women and men?
Yeah, we appreciate that. You have humanity. We're not saying that you don't have humanity.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Why don't you take my hand?
Corona.
Better. You're right. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Of course.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it for you saying the truth. I appreciate you for saying the truth.
Since 1948, I'm doing.
Send that part, by the way. Yeah, send that part to me, please. This is important. Send that part important. I appreciate what you're saying. This is important.
This is useless. I come here just to speak and you guys get
No.
to speak, but this is useless. I promise you, man.
You know what? You know what the problem is? I am fed up. I am fed up. وحياة الله خلص عشتنا خرا.
So you live in there.
And you know why it's عشتنا خرا?
Why you should
because well, do you know why عشتنا خرا? It's because people like this guy who has no clue what's going on. What's his name? Ali Dawah. It's people because of this guy coming here for his YouTube channel, talking like this, thinking that he wants, just to generate likes and clickbait.
At the same time, you are an Arab who lives in Israel and
I am telling you,
coming
I
here
am
and you
fed
defend
up.
Israel and
Do you know why I'm
you're
here?
not defending the human race.
But do you know why I'm here?
You're just defending a state.
I'm here
You're
because,
not defending a human race.
but I'm here because of those people.
I'm talking to you about big man.
Listen, I am sitting in my country.
Have a good day, man.
Habibi. It's good.
Another wrap up after this conversation.
Yeah. Listen,
What did he say?
honestly, that was a really good conversation. This is what we spoke about, to talk. Suddenly they say different things. Like a Syrian comes, I know that Israel have how did he presented it? He said that you know that Israel treated Syrian kids and people and women and men.
Yeah, we appreciate that. You have humanity. We're not saying that you don't have humanity.
Thank you very much. And actually thanking the Israeli country for treating Syrian civilians during the civil war, when Assad butchered his own people, when ISIS, the terrorist organization, butchered Syrian people. And seeing a person coming and say thank you for Israel for treating Syrian civilians, that's a huge thing for me. That's a huge thing to hear, to acknowledge that from a Syrian person. We need to say that that man was from Syria. And he's here because of what happened in that war. And by the way, before that I had a couple of conversations with another people who speaks Arabic, which by my understanding and knowledge, Arabic it's their first language. And we sat down, and when we didn't shout, we managed to speak calmly and to pass the message that eventually we need to end that conflict. But if we keep selling illusions, that would never end. When people shout from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. When they shout, we don't need 2 states, we want all of it, they sell illusion. Israel is not going anywhere. So as for the 2 million Arab who live in Israel, majority of Muslims, by the way. And the same thing I say, in the West Bank and in Gaza, Palestinians are not going anywhere. But in order for us to move forward, we need to dialogue, and we need to make it. People like this, again, what's his name? Ali Dawah. People like this guy, do you think he cares? He asking me, Israel killing babies. I asked him a simple question about Hamas, a terrorist organization. Yes or no? And he goes like, I condemn, yes or no. Can't answer a simple question. He doesn't care. He lives here in London. He's enjoying his life in a democracy and freedom of the world. But if he goes to I don't know where, into Gaza, he can't even say one sentence. One sentence.
Even Nazareth. You can't talk to him and don't get trapped.
عربي نعم. عربي بس مفكرني هذا يهودي. وهذا عامل لي حاله بقول لي هذا عربي يمين. يوسف حداد. حداد من الجيش. ها؟ قرية الجيش، ساكن اليوم في الناصري.
حداد انت نصراني؟
الأصل من سوريا. يعني بتعرف قبل
اعطيني اسمك الكامل.
يوسف حداد.
بس يوسف حداد؟
اسم الوالد نسيم.
اسم الكامل عنده 4 اسماء.
يوسف نسيم حداد. اسم الوالده يعني اسم عائلتي.
جدي الثالث، جدك.
نجم. يعني كلنا الأصل من سوريا.
كل اصل من سوريا.
يعني اذا بتحكي شوف
رباعي الاسم ما عرف.
شوف
because actually automatically when you ask a Palestinian he gives you the phone name. Technically
your phone name.
That's proves my friend. Come on.
خليني هذا صراحة هذا يعني مش عارف وين.
We in Middle East when you ask a name they give the phone name. صراحة لا أنا مسيحي. صراحة شوف. يوسف حداد.
بس يوسف حداد طبعا هذا ما بيثبت الاسم الكامل بس على اي حال.
لا بس مش هذا اسمي يا زلمه. بس ما خص يا صديقي العزيز، احنا يعني تعرف يعني شوف يعني بدي اسالك سؤال، هل هي قضيه يعني النصراني والمسلم؟ يعني ليش بنفرق؟ ما احنا عرب. هلا في فرق بين العرب وعربي فجأة؟ انا صراحه عندنا في مجتمعنا، احنا في مجتمعنا العربي ما بنفرق في اسرائيل.
انا من الاردن
احنا في مجتمعنا احنا في مجتمعنا اسمعني، احنا في مجتمعنا في عندنا احنا في مجتمعنا احنا في مجتمعنا. شوف صديقي شوف صديقي في مجتمعنا العربي في عنا الطائفة المسيحية، الطائفة الدرزية، الطائفة المسلمة، طبعا في البدو اللي هن مسلمين.
طب اوكي
هلا لحظة شوي انا ما فيش عندي سؤال، بس عم بسمع هذا الشاب تحكيش مع هذا يهودي يعني خلص قرر انه انا مع يعني انه انا جاي احكي بس انا مش هاي المشكله، مش هاي الاشيو انه هذا البني ادم. بس لحظه شوي الاشيو انه هذا البني ادم لما بيجي بيقول لي يو ديفاين، لما بيجي هذا البني ادم ديفاين لما هذا البني ادم بيجي ديفاين يعني هو بيجي بيقول لي انت هيك طب انت ما بتعرفني، انت ما بتعرف مين انا، قررت انه انا هيك وهيك وهيك وهيك. هلا انا مش جاي يعني هذا اقول لك اياها بالاخر، أنا إجيت لهون لسبب
I
بسيط
think,
جدا.
listen, do you speak
أنا-
English? Do you
yeah,
speak
yeah,
English?
for sure.
Listen, because some people
I came
don't
for
so they don't
only.
understand
No
English.
worries, no
Let's
worries.
have our
No
conversation
worries.
in English.
I came for only.
So at least,
Yeah, for sure,
Joseph,
for sure.
Joseph.
I see Joseph. I see you're well known everywhere.
They love me here.
Listen, I came here to
You know, we
To see-
don't hate
to-
you.
listen.
I know you don't. You're one of the good guys, chef.
listen. I came here for only one reason. First of all, to show cases like this.
Ignore me.
When I
Deal
come
with him.
immediately, let me say
Listen,
something.
you
No, please,
drink.
please,
Go
please.
all
No,
out.
no, please, let me-
Just be direct.
Please let me. I am
waste
direct.
time.
This is part of my mission. I knew that I will be heckled. I knew that I will be heckled.
I don't want.
Listen, I knew.
No. We're not having debate.
It's not debate.
We're not having
And more than that,
Listen, we're not having debate.
Take your camera.
I understand.
Take your camera.
Doesn't understand.
Take your camera.